What is going on, everybody? I guess I'm live now. I had to wait. There's like this delay between the time that I actually hit the streaming software and then I hit the go live thing on YouTube. Do me a favor, put in that chat section if you can hear me. I want to make sure you can hear me. That's kind of important. If you can't hear me, it's not much of a video, so put that in there. I know we had some trouble, technical difficulties the other day with one of my lives. It looks like it's nice and clean and crisp today. Cameron, what's going on? Ho, he says ho. No, he meant to say hi, but he said ho to me first. You can't hear me, that's good. Great. Got also some of these, gonna be giving these away if these things interest you guys. I do have these for today. Today's giveaway day. I know more people show up on giveaway day for some reason. They like this Amazon stuff, so I got that Amazon stuff going on. I got a really cool session today. I think you're really going to like it. I'm going to talk about a subject that I picked, and you guys can, you're welcome to put whatever you want in the comments and comment in there and chat and say hello or whatever you want to do. Offer me suggestions, any of that good stuff. I'll be so happy to have some comments in there. Just Roblox, you are back. You are back on gift card giveaway days because you're quick at that, aren't you, Just Roblox? Hey, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to ring the bell. Got to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified when I go live. And when I upload videos, those are important too. Give me a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button. I'll give everybody a chance to do that. Did you do it? Good. Got that out of the way. Sir, can I have Amazon cards? Well, if you're quick enough, you can. That's the key. You got to be quick enough. So today I want to talk about the one component that's going to affect your entire life, and you need to get it straightened out as early as you can. It took me longer in life to get it straightened out. I thought I had it straightened out, but I really didn't. So today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that you can do. I really love to attend your live streams. Well, thank you so much, Moran. I really appreciate it, buddy. Really do. Thank you so much. But anyhow, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on this thing, and it's actually controlling your thoughts. This is the one thing that more people have trouble with than anything else. And I want to give you a few examples in my life and things that have happened. Yeah, so you can apply them in your life and maybe you get good results too. So I want to share these things with you guys. This is the thing that's going to control really all your results, all your successes, all your efforts, all your motivation, everything. It's your thoughts. It's your thoughts, okay? And it's the way you approach things on a daily basis, okay? And I'm still improving on these things. There's a long ways I got to go on this stuff. But the average person is really far behind because nobody ever sits them down as a kid and says, this is how you need to look at things. All these sayings that you hear are bad sayings, okay? And you need to get these bad sayings out of your head. There's a book I read a few years ago, and it was called How Rich People Think. Let me see, let me put this in here. Read the book, How Rich People Think. It's a really, really good book. Siddhar says he agrees. Want to know how I found mindset is everything. Yes, people are jumping in. This is a big subject, guys. What's up, Mr. JR? Hey, Morad. But this is a huge, huge effect on your life. This will affect whether you exercise. This will affect whether you work hard. This will affect whether you're happy or not. This will affect your relationships. This will affect your family. This will inch its way into every crevice of your life. And if there's a part of your life, whether it's weight control, whether it's success or money or relationships or whatever, it is probably because you're making some errors in this area of thought control. And I'm going to tell you how to do it, so don't worry about that. But there's so many things that are pre-programmed in our brain. I think of some of the sayings we think, like, let's say you win the lottery. And you got your lottery ticket, and some person would say, yeah, with my luck, I'd win the lottery ticket and get in an accident on the way over there and miss getting my money. Because their whole life they heard that saying, with my luck, okay, with my luck. So they think they're unlucky people, and they keep programming themselves to think that. Or they'll say, well, I'm so clumsy, I would fall down, getting on a couch. And it's that other thing where they're telling themselves they're clumsy. These little thoughts are programmed into your brain every single day because 99% of the people in the world, seriously, 99% of the people in the world have these bad thoughts. They pass these bad thoughts on to their kids. Ignorance is bliss. How many times have you heard ignorance is bliss? Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is poverty. Ignorance is starving. Ignorance is sad. Okay, but we hear these sayings every single day and we take them for face value and we go, well, it's a saying, so it must be right. There's a lot of sayings that are wrong, guys. A lot of sayings that are wrong. And I want to share with you real quick a story, and then I'm going to give you some steps you can do to change your thoughts. My watch is going off. Okay. But I want to share with you a story. So it was about, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago. I had a warehouse in Ohio, and I live in San Diego. That's where I shipped all my products out of that warehouse. They're now in Utah, but that's neither to the point. But we walked outside. My wife's car is parked in the driveway, and mine is parked in the street. That's how we normally do it. I like to let her, get closer to the front door. And our driveway is a two car, space there, but it's just too cramped for me, so I don't like it. So anyhow, she's going to take me to the airport. We're going to get in her car, and we're going to go to the airport. I get my suitcase. I'm on time. We're like an hour and a half, 2 hours early, which is fine. It takes 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to get to the airport. We walk outside. I'm pulling my luggage. We look over to where her car is, and there's no car there. There's no car at all. And she looks at me, and her eyes get real big. And I look at her, and I said, we have to take my car because yours got stolen. And she looked at me. She goes, how do you know? I said, well, it ain't there. So she runs over to the side of the house. And on the side of the house, we have a gate there, and it's a wooden fence that goes around the house. And she looks there. I said, what are you doing? She goes, well, I'm just checking. I said, well, what are you checking for? The car wouldn't even fit there. And by the way, why would anybody put her car on the side of the house? But that's how your mind works. You can't accept the fact that something has happened. So I looked at her, and I said, this is going to be for the good. She goes, what? I said, I'm telling you, this is going to be for the good. We just don't know why this happened, but it's going to be for the good for us. And she looked at me like I was totally insane. And of course, her look nowadays would be a lot different because she's changed her thoughts a lot. She's really changed. And she says, how can you say that? I said, I don't know. I just know that every situation is for the best. Every situation is for the best. So we drive to the airport. And I said, well, you didn't like your car that much. She goes, well, no, I wasn't crazy about it, but I don't want it stolen. So, we ended up getting a rental car for her. So she's, no, wait, we didn't get a rental car in the beginning. I take that back. In the beginning, we just didn't get a car because I had my car when I got back, and she used mine when I was out of town. And when I got back, it had been like a week or two, and they found her car. And her car had been stolen. And I guess the people who stole it, steal all kinds of stuff. They had guns in there. They had drugs in there. They had paperwork. They had other people's IDs with their Social Security cards on, all this stuff in there. And they had crashed it into 2 cars on the side of the road. And they had towed it, and it was at the police department. So we had to go down to the police department and look at the car. The car looked pretty bad. I mean, it had been smoked in. It was nasty. I mean, the headliner was all like, it had nicotine and marijuana. And I mean, it was a mess. It was a total mess. And I said, this is for the good. And she looks at me, she goes, you are insane. I don't know what good could come out of this. So anyhow, we tell the insurance company, and they said, well, we got to send it over to a shop and get it fixed. So we send it over to this guy's shop, and it really doesn't look like it's repairable. And as a young kid, I actually worked in a body shop, and I painted cars, and I did all this stuff. And I looked at him like, God knows, it just looks bad. So after about a week, I go over there, and the guy's got it all taken apart, and it's just a mess. And I called the insurance company. I said, this guy has just totally ruined this car. This car should be totaled. I mean, it's really bad off. And they're like, well, we need to take it to another body shop and get their opinion. So I went over there and I told them, I said, put all those parts inside the car. Just put all the parts inside the car. We're going to get a flatbed because he had wheels off it and everything. And we're just going to take it to this other body shop. And I had already spoken to this other body shop. And he says, from what you tell me, it sounds like the car is totaled and they should just total the car out. So anyhow, I take the car to the other body shop, I drop it off, and within an hour or two, the guy's like, yeah, this is not repairable. This shouldn't even be worked on. He says, this car is a scrap car at this point. Now keep in mind, the car had 15,000 miles on it, 15,000 miles. And so I talked to them, and I talked to the insurance company, and the insurance company says, okay, we're going to probably total it out. Now, I'm expecting them, because I worked in the car business for years, I'm expecting them to give us, a certain value, and I looked it up, and I saw that value, and I said, well, if they go below that, I'm going to really start to argue, and I know how to do this because I was involved in the car business. But instead, they gave me an offer that was about $3,000 or $4,000 above what the highest market value you could get for that car was. And I was like, wow, I mean, this is amazing. So we took that money and we went out and bought her a new car. She got a much nicer car. just a really beautiful car. I'm not going to say what kind of car it is because it doesn't really matter, but she got a much nicer car, and we pulled up in the driveway, and I said, see, it worked out for the better. And you know, on the surface, you look at that and you go, well, how'd you know? I said, I don't know, but I only assume it's going to be for the best, because to assume anything else is detrimental. To assume anything else is detrimental, right? Why would you want to assume anything negative? Here's the truth: 87% of the things that you worry about on a daily basis will never happen. They're never ever going to happen, okay? And then about another 8%, okay, that brings us up to 95%, are going to happen, but there's nothing you can do about it. So you're up to 95% now of things you shouldn't worry about. There's about 5% of the things you worry about, okay, that you can actually do anything about. And maybe you could do a good thing, maybe you could do a bad thing, I don't know. But the point is, why worry about anything? Why worry about anything? And I'm going to get into the steps. I'm going to give you some steps in just a second. Let me check out some of your stuff in here, what you're typing. Jack Dunn is there. What's up, Jack? I saw some of your comments on my videos. I really do appreciate that. I think I answered a couple of them for you this morning. Big goals require big commitment and strong positive mindset. Biggest thing is also positive self-think and talk. Like you just said, practice daily and put out positive, right? Want to know how to find this channel and earn $500 when I needed gaming. I searched how kids can earn at any age, and I found his channel, and I subscribed to it. Oh, that's cool. Time to gift card, sir. It's coming close, but it's not quite time yet. I got to give you some input to help you in life first. Think rich and grow. Think and grow rich, I think, is what you're trying to put in there. Is really good. Is really good. I tell you, I don't necessarily ascribe to that book. If you research Napoleon Hill, he had a very sordid past. He had a criminal background. If you look him up, you'll find out that a lot of stuff he said was not true. All of his conversations that he says he had with all these billionaires back then, he never really had them with him. There's no proof of that. So I guess you could say some of the basis of the book is interesting, but the whole basis of the book is untrue. It's been disproven that he did any of those things he said he did, and he actually was running from the law at one point. So if you look him up, it's kind of interesting. Kristen Taylor is here for gift cards. What do you know? Well, I'm going to help you out with life first, and then we're going to talk about gift cards. So let's go to that. And I had some notes I put down here, guys, I want to share with you. Let me find those notes. And you know, the first thing you got to really start doing is practicing your positive self-talk. This is not something that's natural to do, guys. This is something that you really have to, you know, kind of force yourself to do. We tend to be really hard on ourselves. If you ever listen to what you're saying to yourself, like if you trip or whatever, and you go, oh my God, you're so clumsy, you're so stupid, you look so dumb. You know, you have a lot of this negative self-talk. A lot of people do. And you got to get that out of your head. So that's the first thing I'm going to tell you is you've got to practice really giving yourself credit for stuff. When you get something done, you know, sometimes years ago when I would talk to my wife, I would say, did you get anything done today? She goes, oh my God, I had so much more to do. I didn't get half the things done I want to get done. I said, well, tell me what you did get done. And then she would tell me, and I'm like, it sounds like you got a lot of stuff done. Just because you didn't get everything done that you wanted to do, it doesn't matter. You did stuff. And you need to give yourself credit for that. And now she does. And she'll say, well, yeah, I got this done and this done. And yeah, I wanted to do some more stuff, but you know, I'm pretty proud of what I got done. That's how you have to talk to yourself to start with, okay? You got to kind of create a ritual every single day with something uplifting and positive. So I want to give you a few ideas of what you can put in there. Number one, tell yourself it's going to be a great day, or another positive affirmation. Tell yourself up front. And don't say, oh my God, I wonder what today's going to bring. Man, yesterday was terrible. I bet today's going to be even worse. A lot of people get up and do that every day, and then they wonder why they feel bad as soon as they get to work, or as soon as they start, you know, their day off with their kids or whatever. Listen to, you know, something positive. Listen to a positive podcast or playlist or something. You know, read something. I read the Daily Stoic. Some days I miss it, but that doesn't mean I don't go back to it. And it has a little saying for each day from these philosophers. Share some positivity by giving a compliment or doing something nice for somebody else. You have no idea what that really does for you when you're kind to somebody else. I have a new rule in traffic now, because traffic used to really get me irritated when people cut me off. So here's my new rule. I let everybody in. Everybody in. Everybody gets in front of me, okay? If somebody wants to get in, and they're trying to get over, they always get in. I don't care how much room it is or whatever. I'm overly nice to people in traffic now. And you know what it's done for me is it's actually gotten me to where I'm calmer driving now, right? So I changed that one little thing there, and it makes me happier. Plus the fact that it spreads some goodwill. You know, some of those people are like, oh, wow, thanks for letting me in. That was really cool of you. So what do you do really? How do you do this positive thing when everything's going wrong? Because we have real stuff that goes wrong, right? You can't just ignore stuff, but you can do things to change it. During these times, it's really important to take the pressure off yourself, okay? You want to kind of find the silver lining in whatever it is. Kind of like the car story I just told you. I didn't know what the silver lining would be. I didn't know how good that was going to turn out, but it did. So if I had just thought negatively the whole time and then something good happened, I would have wasted all that emotion for that period of time. I don't want to do that, okay? Positive thinking isn't about burying negative thoughts or emotions or anything like that. It's how you react to negative things, okay? We all have a choice. And you know, you've got to realize, and you've seen it yourself, that a negative thing can happen, and yet some people will react differently. Some people would react positive to it. Some people would react negative to it. Let's see here. What else do I got in here? A lot of gift card stuff, but that's not what I'm talking about. Let's see, but his lectures are the best. Knowledge is worth more than money. You know what, Siddharth? You're heading in the right direction, my man. You're heading in the right direction. You can use the knowledge to make money. This is very true. Agree to Siddharth Cameron says, okay, every day in every way in my life is getting better and better. That's how you have to think, don't you, James? I mean, that's totally true. So what are the side effects of thinking negatively? If you think negatively, first off, it's not going to solve any problems for you. It's just not. It's never, ever has solved any problems. You know, people, when they see a solution, will start to feel better about a problem. But let me read through some of the things that it can cause. Worrying and, you know, thinking negatively can cause headaches. It's been proven that negative thoughts can actually cause a headache. Do you want a headache? Probably not. It can actually cause body aches. It can cause your body to ache. It can cause nausea. It can cause fatigue. It can cause difficulty sleeping. So there's really no positive outcome out of thinking negatively. It just doesn't exist, okay? This cynicism and anger and hostility have been linked to a higher risk of certain diseases. It can actually cause heart disease. It can cause heart attacks. People freak out and have a heart attack. It can cause stroke. It can cause dementia. There's so many negative outcomes from thinking negatively. So, you know, we need to get over that stuff. We need to start realizing that, you know, how you react to a situation is huge. You know, I was a single dad with both my kids, and you know, I would tell them, you know, hey, sit up at the table, be careful, don't you know, sit up to your plate, don't spill your food, don't knock over your drink and all that. But what did I do if they did knock over the drink? What did I do if they did knock over the drink? Well, first off, a little kid, when they knock over the drink, they look to you immediately and their eyes get real big and they're like, oh no. Well, I got to where I understood, because when I was a kid, you know, my mom and dad weren't that great, and they would say, well, you know, you're so sloppy, you're going to knock over the drink. I told you were going to knock over that drink. And that's what I would hear as a kid. So when my kids would knock over a drink, I'm like, hey, stuff happens. I know you were trying your best. And they would look at me like, oh, wow. You know, and then guess what that made them do? That made them try their best. I said, I know you always try your best, but things happen. You know, and they would just look at me like, oh my gosh, well, okay. And they did have a mom, but she wasn't in the picture much, and she was very, very poor at parenting. I had custody of my kids. So when they went over there, they got just the opposite reaction, which they didn't go over there very often because she never took visitation. That's a whole other story. But the point is, you know, how you react to these negative situations can not only affect you, but it can affect the other person. You know, I was at Trader Joe's the other day, and there was an older woman, and she was pulling into the parking place next to me. And as she did, she got really, really close. And then she stopped, and she got out of her car, and she came over to my window. And I said, yeah, can I help you? She says, yeah, when I pulled in just now, I scratched your back bumper on your car, and I need to let you know so we can exchange insurance or whatever. And I said, you know what? Have a nice day. Don't worry about it. I mean, it wasn't a big scratch. It wasn't a big scratch. Was it really worth us exchanging insurance and her having the stress and having a bad day? She walked off with a smile on her face. She was like, wow, She was expecting me to be mad and angry and all these things, and really wasn't really worth my time to get a scratch fixed on my bumper. It was nothing big. It was a very small scratch. I mean, maybe if she had taken out the rear end of my car, and I have had that happen in a parking lot too, where people hit my car and took off. But I just looked at her and she looked so worried and so scared. And I'm like, you know what? Just have a nice day. That's all you got to do. And how do you think she's going to affect other people as that day goes on? So, guys, what I need you to do is I need you to start seeing yourself in a picture of what you should be. Okay. So if you want to be healthy, don't tell yourself, well, I'm fat and I overeat and I never exercise. Say, no, I'm a very healthy person. I'm in great shape. I have the ability to lose weight and really look good. And a person who has that ability, what would they do every day? What would they do? And you'll start telling yourself, well, I guess they would get up in the morning, they would go for a walk, okay? And you'll find yourself going for a walk. And I guess they would actually try to do some push-ups or sit-ups in the afternoon. And that's how they got that way. Then go ahead and do those things. Same thing in business. How would a successful person, how would somebody successfully run ads on Facebook? That's what I asked myself yesterday. I was editing my videos, and I got almost all of them done for all my ads. And I said, well, they would sit down and they would really make these videos good. And that's what I did up until about 10:30 last night. Okay, I worked on that stuff and I got that stuff done because I asked myself, how would X achieve this? And you need to do the same thing with yourself. Because you haven't done any of this in your past, guys, doesn't mean that you can't do it now. You can change at any point you want in life. You're not stuck in any position in your life. You're not. You can change at any point you want. You can become a whole different person if you want. But you've got to realize these negative thoughts that we have, man, they're holding us back tremendously. You've got to be positive about everything, because what is the point in being negative about anything else? All right, let's see here. What else have I got in here? I'm going to do a card in just a second. Let's see. My dad says never stop earning even if you have too much customers. Very true, because you can help other people out. If you end up with too much money, you can always give it away, right? Agreed. Biggest troubles we have are created in our own mind. They're always created in your own mind, 100%. That's where everything comes from, guys. That's where every invention comes from. That's where everything comes from. And it's really just your thoughts. Whatever you thought is what you are. Whatever you think is what you are, guys, 100%. The biggest troubles is East and West, sir. JR is best. Thank you so much. You'd be a poet, Cameron. Sir, it's time for a gift card. Okay. Gift card. Are you ready for this? Let me get a sip here. I'm not quite ready. I'll get a sip. Got a good crowd here today. Let's see. So true that things you can't change. Don't stress about it. I like the Serenity Prayer as a reminder. Yeah, and you know what's funny, Paul? I would take that even further. Assume that you can only have a positive effect on things. Assume that you can only have a positive effect on things. Kind of interesting. Just assume that, and how would that change your actions? Brand new card, guys. See that? Okay, this one here is $15 to $500, and I'm going to tear off the wrapper right here now. These aren't as neat as those Apple cards. The Apple cards are all slick and cool, and these here are kind of clunky, but it's Amazon. It's Amazon. There's the card. There's a number. Did you guys see the number? Of course you didn't. I haven't scratched it off yet, but I'm doing it right now. I'm going to do it right now. So this is the little scratcher thing I got to do. You see that? Can you see it? All right. So there's the scratcher thing. And I know you see a number on the bottom, but that's not what you need. You need this part here. Scratch or peel. I think, was it peel? Maybe it's peel. Oh, yes, it's a peel thing. It's a peel thing. See? There it is. Okay. So I've got the number. If you want the number, put in the chat section that you're interested in this card. If you're not interested in it, there's no point in doing it. I mean, seriously. I know you are. So put in that chat section. Like you said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to them. 100% of the time. 100%. It really, because, a lot of things you can't control. You may get some disease. I have a friend who's 86. I've known him since he was about 50, I think, 51, 52 maybe. And I was like in my 20s at the time, so I've known him for 30 some odd years. He, when I moved back to San Diego in 2013, which is about 8 years ago, he was 78. When he was in his late 50s, he got cancer. And the prognosis was not good. He actually got breast cancer, which is unusual for a man. But he got through it. He was fine because he had a good attitude. Well, when he was 78, when we moved back here, he says, my cancer came back. I said, oh no, what, can they help you? He says, no, it's bone cancer. It's throughout my body. And he's gone through a series of treatments and all kinds of medications. And I got to tell you, he's doing great. He's doing great. He's 86. He's got bone cancer, and he'll go out to dinner with us. And he never worries about dying. It never crosses his mind. Matter of fact, he'll say things to me like, a lot of my friends say I'm going to outlive everybody. That's his attitude. That's Luigi's attitude. I love it, love it, love it. Just talked to him the other night, just texted with him, and we just went to dinner the other night. But man, that's what you got to do, guys. That's what you got to do, no matter what you're faced with. He's faced with death. But you know what? I told him when he was 78. He says his doctors only gave him about 4 or 5 years to live, and that was 8 years ago. And I said, well, Luigi, it doesn't take a really brilliant doctor to tell a 78-year-old they only got about 4 or 5 years to live, because most of them died 4 or 5 years. Now he hasn't, but I mean, it was kind of a joke we had going. So here's a number. You ready for it? All right, let's see here. I'm interested in gift card. I am interested. Jeff Barnhart, what's going on? Kristen Taylor, Cameron, sir, are you on Instagram? Not much, but here's the number, guys, in case you want it. There it is. And don't put in there that you got it unless you have the amount, because I know what the amount is. AQCHKYGRNNJP35D. Once again, AQCHKYGRNNJP35D. Has everybody got that? You got that? You got that written down? Gift card's going to be going. Gift card's going to be going. Do you have it? Have you written fast? Now, I want you to put in there when you get it, okay? Put in there when you get it. What's up, Danny Howard? Good to see you, man. Seeing more and more people pop in. Jeff and Danny and Sidharth and Jack and all you great people. All you great people. All right, so get that card right there. Pop that in. Pop that in there if you would. Okay, do you get that? And the first person that gets it, I want you to put the amount in there. What's Paul got to say? Practice making people's day by a good compliment. You make the day, and you get over fear of talking to people for public speaking. Did this as a practice to ask girls out. Yeah, we do everything for girls, Paul. I mean, our entire life is circled around girls, trust me. Wars have been fought, and I mean, careers have been shattered all over girls. So, girls are it. Kristen got it. Kristen, you go. It's $15. All right. Asholdry. I don't know what that. That's a cool name. Whatever it is, it's cool. I don't know if you're male or female. I love it. So, guys, tell me, have you had some bad things happen in your life? Put it in that chat section. Let me know how you overcame some of those things. Do you have a story about something that happened and it turned out entirely different than what you thought? Put that in the chat section. I'm fortunate because I know some people who've had some terrible things happen to them. When my daughter was born, my first daughter was born, she was born with some birth defects, and they were fixable, but she was born with birth defects. And I remember walking up and down the hallway. My wife was so torn up at the time that she didn't want to see her. I was walking down the hallway, and the nurse came up to me and she says, "Have you seen your daughter in the nursery yet?" And I said, "No." She says, "I know you're pretty upset, aren't you?" I said, "Well, yeah, yeah." And she says, "Well, let me explain something to you. Your daughter, the problem she has," and I won't get into detail. She goes, "It's fixable, and nobody will know once it's fixed. But there's a kid that was born today that has no arms and no legs, and she's also in the nursery." And I heard her say that, and I was like, man, I got to get down to the nursery because I'm pretty dang lucky. I'm pretty dang lucky. And that's what I also want to share with you guys. No matter what your situation is, no matter how bad it gets, let's say you've got no food and no water and you're sickly and you have no shelter, whatever, there's still people worse off than you because there's dead people. There's people that would gladly take your situation of no food and no water because there's still possibilities. And you've still got possibilities, okay? No matter what bad thing happens to you, doesn't matter. It's how you react to it, and you've got to understand that as long as you're alive, as long as you wake up, you've still got possibilities, okay? So what are your possibilities? Let's see here. This one here got truncated. They blocked you, Paul. Subscribe, ring bell, and share. That's what YouTube just blocked that comment for a second, Paul, just to let you know that. Apple gift card time. I don't have any Apple gift cards today. I already gave away a gift card. Merch deck. I already gave away a gift card. So, guys, I really want you to put in there anything that you think that would be encouraging to other people today. You got a comment, you got a saying, you got a story. What is it that you think would be encouraging to somebody else? And let me tell you something. When you do something like this is going to help you more than it's going to help other people. Because when you put out good, it makes a huge difference in your own self-worth, your own self-being. And don't wait to feel good to do good. Too many people say, well, I'm just not in the mood today. I'm in a bad mood today, and I hate those people that are always happy. If you say you hate those people that always happy, then you got a problem. And you need to realize it, and you need to change who you are, because that problem is emanating from you. And it's really easy to say, well, when I was a kid, this happened to me, or when I was a kid, that happened to me. And, I know I had a really tough childhood. I went through a lot of stuff. I'll get into detail one day on that. But the point is, that doesn't define who I am now. Why would it? That's just stuff that happened then. No more than stuff that happens today is not going to define me 10 years from now. It's just today. And really, the past, you can't do anything about it. I've seen people try to change the past. It's really hard. I mean, it's like really hard. I don't think it's possible. And I've seen people try to control the future, and you can't. Only thing you can really control is what you're doing today. That's it. That's it. So, I hope this helped you out a little bit today. I hope you're kind of seeing the point in me doing these morning talks with you guys, especially on Saturdays where I give away a little bit of money. Did you watch that film about the law of attraction called The Secret? I 100% did. I think it's great. It's a great film, Kristen. I like it. I like it a lot. I would recommend people seeing it. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Sid Harth has a message retracted. But put your comments in there, guys. I'm about to shut it down. We've been here for about 31 minutes. We got to get over to Costco today and pick up a few things. And I got to remember what all of them are. We were talking about them last night, and as I sit here, I'm trying to think of some more things we need. So we got to get all those things. Paul says, had a series of 26 deaths in a 3-month period. I was thankful for a team that let me know how we did everything by having good people that helped me. I hope you're talking about not family members, but when you were on the fire engine, Paul, because I was on the ambulance too, and I had a lot of deaths. I think I had 7 in a month one time, and they were calling me like Dr. Death or something like that. So yeah, if you're involved in search and rescue and ambulance and all that, you will encounter that stuff, and it's hard. It's hard on you. I mean, to this day, I'll have a dream every now and then about some patient I had years ago, and that does happen. But that doesn't define who I am today. It just doesn't. It's just part of my life now. It's just part of who I am. Not a big deal. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you being here today. We had a really good session today. I will not be here tomorrow. I decided Sundays is too much. We'll be back on Monday with a live at 9 a.m. And check out in the channel. You can see what I'm going to be doing in advance. I'm going to start putting a little comment on there. I find being positive helps getting over fear of things. Yeah, there's no point in fear. I literally feel like I don't have any fear at this point in my life of anything. I just don't. I grew up in a really bad neighborhood, which has something to do with it. But I don't have a fear of dying. I've been, I had gun pulled on me a few times, and it doesn't bother me at this point. Just because I feel like, if I can do something about it, I'm gonna. And if I can't, it doesn't matter. And I'm not afraid of that. I'm just not afraid of that. So I hope you guys have a great day. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't, rang the bell, turn on all bell notifications. That's super important. Kristen, I will do more gift cards, but not today, but I will do more gift cards. I don't want it to be a session of just giving away money. I want you guys to get something out of this. I would do you a disservice if I sat here for 30 minutes and I just gave out gift cards. You would be happy for the moment, but that would wear off and you wouldn't learn anything and you couldn't apply anything in your life. And that would be a disservice. I like to do it as kind of a fun thing, not as, here I'm going to just give out money for 30 minutes. I just don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do it. And maybe there's channels that do that. I don't think so. Everybody's smarter than that. Sir, just got to show us the last Amazon gift card. No, I don't. I'm not going to do any more money today. So, guys, really, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Don't forget to check out some of the other videos on my channel.